Hi, Mike here. You're watching Scout Restoration Yukon. In this video, I restore the grill and emblem for my 1966 Scout 800. Bonus, antenna installation. I will show all the details. I hope you like it. If you want to help, please subscribe to Scout Restoration Yukon. It's free. Mike Morrow, over and out. Hi, Mike here. You're watching Scout Restoration Yukon. In this video, I will restore the grill for my 1966 Scout 800. It's a very simple grill. It's just expanded aluminum. And then there's this pot metal emblem across the front, and somebody's painted the letters with blue paint. That's because they previously painted this Scout with the same blue paint. So I'm going to remove the blue paint and I'm going to clean up the grill best I can. I will try using vinegar and scrubbing it, and we'll see where we get. And then if I can remove some oxidization and make it shine a little better, look good, then I could either clear coat it or wax it. And I think I prefer to wax it, because I'm afraid the clear coat will peel off later on from damage from the sunshine, UV damage, and things like that. So let's get to work. The first thing I'm going to do is scrape off this blue paint with a little screwdriver. That works pretty well. It's just tedious. I definitely don't want to use power tools for this, because it's just pot metal and I don't want to damage it. So that's the letter O done. I will just continue with the rest of the emblem. So one more letter to go. There. Now all the blue paint is gone. I will paint that, but first I have to clean all of this. So I'm going to try blowing it off with compressed air, and then I'm going to try vinegar and water and warm water and a scrub brush. See what that does. I'm spraying the grill with the mild solution of vinegar and water. And I'm just going to put that on there and let it soak for a while. Just soak it really good, both sides. Now I'm gently scrubbing with one of those dishwashing sponges. It's hard on one side and soft on the other. So just gently scrubbing that. And then I use the soft side. Okay. Now I'm scrubbing it with hot, soapy water. Very soapy water. Just turn it over to the other side. Turn it over again. Now I'm rinsing it with cold, clean water. Now that it's rinsed, I'll just leave it, let it dry for a day or so. Get back to it later. Yeah, it can just air dry. It's looking good. Mike here. Now that the grill has dried, I'm going to do an alcohol wipe on it, and then I'm going to paint the letters black. When I removed the blue enamel paint from these letters, it just fell off. So obviously they should have used some sort of designated primer for aluminum before painting it. I don't need to do that because I got this Dominion Sure Seal semi-gloss self-etching paint. And I did some research on it, and I can put that on aluminum without primer, and I don't need to top coat it. It's an all-in-one automotive trim paint that should stay on there. So let's get to work. If you look at these letters, they're raised, so the paint's just going to go inside here, right? Inside this line, and I don't want to get paint. I try not to get paint on the outside. So just inside this lip here is where I'm going to paint. So I'm not going to spray paint that to try to tape that and spray paint it. It's just crazy. It'll take too long. So I'm going to take my trim black semi-gloss self-etching paint, shake it really good. So you just spray some into the lid here, right? And very carefully now start painting these letters, right? Starting with the I. And I'm not trying to do this in one coat. It's not going to happen in one coat. But it works pretty good. I can just get the brush in between the lines. If I don't put too much paint on the brush, and I don't know how other people do it, but I always painted my own signs by hand. And my trick, what worked for me, was don't lift the brush. Now you see I've gone over there, but I can just wipe that off. Try not to touch it. Okay, things can always be fixed later too. So what I find, you get the right load on your brush and you don't pick it up. Scout 80 grills featured a gold-plated IH emblem on a black background. Early 800 emblems spelled out international, typically in black. 800A and 800B Scouts, the script on the emblem was red. So that's a start. Anyway, it's definitely going to need another coat. So that's the first coat, and I waited about 5 minutes. You can recoat this stuff really fast. I'm going to go over it again with the heat gun, help it dry a little bit. There's a few places where I've gone off, but I can scrape them off with a razor blade later. It actually looks pretty good. That's enough heat on there. Now I'm going to do one more coat of paint. So this is the second coat. That's looking better. It's because I'm putting the paint on heavier. I'm spilling a little over the edge sometimes. See, I spilled some over the edge there. I think it's easier to leave it, let it dry, fix it with the razor blade. So that's the second coat, and I waited a few minutes, but I want to get moving here, so I'm going to force dry this paint. So now I let that cool off a bit, and I'm going to try putting a trim-clad gloss on top of that. See what happens. It's quite a bit thicker paint. A little bit more on there. Definitely a thicker paint, and I'm definitely getting some over the edges. But I think I can fix all that up later on with a little razor blade. Kind of thinking I should have thinned this paint. I want a good thick layer of glossy paint. So now I've been with a razor blade and scraped that raised edge all the way all around all the letters, and it's looking really good. I'm pretty happy with that. There's a lot of paint in there. It can dry for days and days. I don't care. So that's good to go. We'll just let that dry for a while, and after that I'll install it on the Scout. Attention fellow Scout enthusiasts, thanks for watching. I hope that you're getting useful insights from my videos. If I can earn 1,000 subscribers, I will be able to create Scout videos for a long time. Please like and subscribe so that we can continue this journey for years to come. I will show all the details. Over and out. Hi, Mike here. You're watching Scout Restoration Yukon. In this video, I will install the antenna on my 1966 Scout 800. The antenna should have been installed at the same time as I installed the Fender. I had actually installed the antenna that came with the Scout. It wasn't the original antenna and it didn't fit properly. And I overlooked this. So I took it back out and I purchased this one here, which is adjustable. So it'll mount here. I think it looks quite nice and it has a spring on it, right? The one thing I did notice, however, it's just got a regular nut on it. And I think I'll put a nylock nut on there. So this antenna goes like this, and then the antenna wire here goes on from the inside, and then the nut goes on, and the whole thing clamps together. And then the antenna wire threads through a hole in the fender, and then another hole in the firewall, and goes inside the dash to the radio. It's unfortunate I overlooked this because you cannot get at it at all because there's a fresh air duct goes like this. I'll show you in a minute. There's a fresh air duct. So I don't want to remove the fender again. What I want to do is remove the fresh air duct, install the antenna, and replace the fresh air duct, if that can be done. Otherwise, I'll have to remove the fender. This is the fresh air duct that I'm going to have to remove to access the antenna. So I'm going to remove the 6 bolts inside this fender that hold this duct. You can see the duct here on the other side of this hole. It's the fresh air duct. I'm just using a 1/2-inch socket and a 3/8 drive ratchet. So, I can't get that duct out of there. I thought I'd try it. So, I have no choice but to remove the fender. For fender removal, you can refer to this video. I removed the fender, installed the antenna, threaded the antenna wire through the inner fender, and reinstalled the fender. Now, I'm going to continue to thread the wire into the dash and see if I can manage to plug it into the back of the radio. So let's get to work. Now I'm threading the antenna wire through the hole in the firewall. I got to go inside and direct it a little bit. Here it is, here. Okay, that's done. You can see the radio in behind the dash here. So now I have to try to get my arm all the way in there and get this antenna on. So I'm up to my armpit in Scout. And I managed to reach all the way back in there. And I got it. I plugged that antenna in. Oh, fantastic. In conclusion, I'm happy with the grill. I waxed it to try to prevent oxidization. The antenna is finally installed. All good. My next video is Scout heater restoration. Bonus, seat frame cleanup, repair, and paint. I will show all the details. I hope you like it. If you want to help, please subscribe to Scout Restoration Yukon. It's free. Mike Morrow, over and out.